Well, finally, I'm putting up the post where I hung this 4-pound Vaughan on a 31-inch ash East Coast Lumberjack New Zealand pattern handle a couple months ago. In this video, I'm going to show you how I selected the handle, a little bit of the story behind that, and how I hung the head, and a surprise discovery about the modern style axe handle. For those who follow me, you know that I stick pretty much to American-made axe heads from about 1880 to 1960. Their patterns, what they feel like, they're for me. They're not for other people, so I can put them on some pretty cheap handles. There's a box of House Handle Company handles. For this purpose, they're ideal. They feel awesome in the hand. They've got a vintage style to them, but they got problems if you're going to hang them. And then they mass produce them, so you have to ask for the select. That one came out of a hardware store. You know right away that's a house handle because it's cockeyed. It's asymmetrical on the shoulder. Curve's probably not cut right. You got some work ahead if you're going to do that one. I've only just now discovered Foxy Manufacturing. Man, those are pretty. That's 11 bucks a piece. So for 33 bucks, I got those. They are straight as an arrow. They're well made. They're covered in lacquer, and I'm going to have to work a little bit on those. And then I got this junk one, no name thing I picked up. I will never buy those again. I don't even know if I'm going to bother messing with that. I might cannibalize it when I need hickory for something else. But I've had this Vaughan for 2 years, and I wanted something special for it. It just so happens I was in Rod Cumberland's YouTube channel, and he had mentioned that hickory doesn't like the cold. Ash works better up there. I'm from Minnesota. It gets cold here. I mentioned that in his channel. Boy, I know what you're talking about. I snap when it's very dramatic, when it about 10 degrees or 0 degrees, you snap a hickory handle. And I commented it. I'm going to have to try ash. I had never tried an ash handle before. He said, give me your address, tell me what specifications, pick out a style, I'll send you one. He didn't send me one. He sent me two. That's amazing. I was just dancing all over the place. I can't believe it. But he wanted to show me what ash was like. And then I picked the New Zealand style of handle. So now in this video, I'm going to go ahead and hang it. One is 31 inches. The other one is 28. And I haven't hung the 28 yet. I'm waiting for another head to come. I'm going to put a big plum on that one. But just gorgeous handles. Now, if you've seen Rod, if you haven't, go to his channel and watch him make these. He makes them from scratch. He goes and selects the timber that he makes these from. He cuts it to length. He splits it. He dries it at his house. And then he makes his handles from scratch. From that, he's looking for really tight grain, because the tighter the grain, the stronger the axe handle will be. And that's going to be kind of important because everybody knows that hickory is an ideal wood for handles. Ash is very good. Hickory outperforms it. So we're just giving the ash a little extra advantage. And of course, they're going to be arrow straight. You can't pull string to be straighter than he makes his handles. These are gorgeous and they feel so good in the hand. All right, let's go get her hung.
To take one more look at it because it's never going to be brand new again. All right, we begin.
Now at this point, my spoke shave clogs up, and I'm just fed up with it. I use the spoke shave. I like it, but it's just not working well, and so I stopped and on how to make that thing work. And boy, I'm very pleased with the result there. So that's a separate video. Go watch that. On this one right here, we're getting her done. First thing I got to do is get that head started. Then once I can get the head exactly started the way I want it, we're off to the races. And you know I like working with a hatchet or an axe to do my shaving like that, because it's open, it won't clog, and I can keep working with it. I can work it back and forth to smooth out any chatter. Because as you can see, I'm quite comfortable using a hatchet for scraping. I can use a card scraper, I can use my rasp, use whatever you got. It's whatever takes off wood.
Now we're going. Now we're going. See? It's coming right down the handle, just right. Don't get wild, because this doesn't have any marks on it. This is not touching the metal, so I do not want to touch this. or I'll end up having such a wide wedge when I'm done, it'll be sloppy. So just work your touch line here. That little indicator lock. I'm not a teacher. I'm just showing you what I'm doing with the piece that he gave me. Everybody who's watching this, you know where to find the good videos on how to do this. This is just me doing mine. You go find a hafting channel. You go look at Mountain Man Axes. He's got gorgeous hangs. Or go watch Rod Cumberland teach you how to do this. All right. So I'm only just started, and I'm just taking my time to make sure it's straight. I got that much more to go, but that's straight. That's going on straight, and it's incrementally going in. There's almost just a tiniest little bit of curl going on there.
Especially on tall eyes, like if you're working with a lug axe, you want as much of that compressed against the eye wall so that it's holding onto the haft. Because anything that's not compressed in there holding onto the haft is free to move. It becomes, that mass becomes a battering ram to pound its way off.
Just coming up. Kerf is centered. It's creeping up there. Nice and easy. Filling the full eye. Staying tight. But we got a little more than a knuckle to go. Then, say it gets a little choppy, back up. I can go either way. I can use it as a okay. Still incrementally coming on. The kerf was straight, so the kerf is centered in the back, and it's centered really nicely right up here in the front of the eye. So I know it's tracking okay. And we're just got a really nice close fit. It's all full. It's coming. I'm liking this because I'm seeing marks, along the sides. That means it's tight still going in. If this were just pure white, it would mean there was too much of a gap. This is going in nice and tight. What do we got? I see just a tiny hairline. Well, that's just at the bottom too. So we'll see about that. But otherwise, filling the eye nice. Kerf is centered front and back. It's coming up. And we have about to my knuckle to go yet. I broke a piece off. This little piece, when I was fitting it, I splintered one of those corners off. There's no carpenter's rule. There are no mistakes. I did that on purpose. Now I'm going to have identical little wedge pieces to fix it. Okay. Got that started. Got it driven up there. How we fitting? We're fitting. Perfect, nicely tapered in. All the way around. Looking good. And the other part is, when I'm swinging this, there's the center of the bit. And that's about half a finger back from the center where that's going to be hitting every time I go to chop. Alright, so I got plenty of room here. And dang it, I wish I wouldn't have broken that one piece off. But I'm going to see, after I put the wedge in, how much of a shim I have to put on either side. And I can do that either with, well, I've got ash here. I can go get some ash splinters and put in there. But to try to fix that up shouldn't be too much of a problem. But nicely fit. Nicely fit. So I'm not going to need much of a wedge. And that's what I got to do now, is I got to figure out what wedge do I need to put in there. Now Rod put in a couple of nice wedges with these handles. And I'll be using those. Nice. That's not poplar. Is that more ash? Rod, did you put ash in here? So Rod cut that perfectly straight, and it followed down nice and straight. How much do I got to take up? Boy, that's not bad. I might leave that. By the time I get down there, let's see. see what we get here. It's nicely fit. Almost don't need a wedge. I bet I can bring that down just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more trimming here. And then I'm going to see how big of a wedge do I need here. And we'll get that fit. Okay. Wow. Fit it to my eye just about perfect. Alright, I'll be back. This is where the eye gets messed up here. And it just, I don't know, it's like they didn't finish with the drift or something, or I don't know what they did. And I don't want to mess with it. I'm just going to wedge around it. So let's get that trimmed off a little bit. We just happen to have a hatchet for that. Take off slivers. Looking cool. Back part's going to fit in nice. Let's get that just a little bit more. There's a piece of sandpaper. What do we got there? That will go in really nice. Yeah, that'll go in really nice. I'm just going to do it. Get them a little bit more. Just a tease. Just a little tease here. That'll smoosh right out of there. All right, to do it. Here goes the head. Oh, did you know I didn't burn it? I ain't taking no chances. I ain't risking it. Now I know he's got that dry. I don't expect that it would crack if I burned it. But if I don't burn it, I know it won't crack because I burned it. Okay, that one's good. I guess that's dusty. Oh, that is, let me get the light turned on there for you. Look at that. Look at that. And let me see. Straight, right? We're just splitting the knob. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know. Can you see that? There. Splitting that knob. No, I think just touch it. We're going to be all right. All right, here we go. Now, I got most of the wedge in that way. First pounding it into the floor this way. Let's see. We'll try just a little bit, getting them individually down in there. Oh yeah, that did it. That got her down in there. Now the top is starting to break of the wedge. So I'm going to stop. That's as far as it'll go. Okay. What saw will I use? I'll go use this one. There we go. That max might do it. Now, what would be smart to do, flip that so I don't break it again. I don't want to break the wedge part now. Get a nice soft strokes in there. we can see there was a little crack in there, but it's disappeared. Alright, get that sanded off, be right back, and we'll see what we've got to do for this part when we trim it up. Alright, time for the cameo shot again of the little box hatchet. Could just take out a knife. Go. It's time. It's pretty, but yeah. Oh, yeah. It's sharp. We're ready. Go test it. This is that jersey that in the wintertime popped. It just popped open. So I glued it up and I put some dowels in it. I really don't like doing that because every place you put a dowel, so I don't want to do them in a straight line, because every place you put the dowel sever the fibers inside the handle, so you destroy a little bit of its strength and flexibility. You make it more breakable. So I stagger them different spots, and I'll clean that up sometime, and we'll see if that lasts. If it doesn't, this was that stupid Ames handle. I really like the feel of it. It was designed really well, but the wood just wasn't that good. Anyway,
And here's the one that I got because that one had broken. Now, I've never had an ash handle before, and I've got one coat of boiled linseed oil. It dried overnight, and of course that raises the cut fibers. So I'm smoothing it off so it's not so rough on my hands. Get a nice smooth surface. And then we're going to go out and swing this, and I'll get the worn out, and we'll swing that one too and compare them to each other.
man, that's gonna be fun. It does feel a little different. Wonder how long it'll take me to get used to it. The shape of the handle, I mean, because this one's got wide, flat sides. My other handles don't do that. But alright, so now what I'm going to do is, the only head I've got that's comparable is the Warren. Warren is a little over 4. That one I determined is just at 4 1/4, not 4 1/2. And it's on that New Zealand Racing X handle, whereas this one is on, let's see, a 32 inch, probably just a house. I think that's a house handle. Okay. But
now at this point, I need to shut the guy up for a second because he's talking slow and we don't have a lot of time, right? So it's comparing handles. Now that racing style handle wasn't prepared for it. Now it's becoming more not about the ash, it's becoming about the style of the handle. It's taller from, you know, the back to the belly than the traditional felling axe style of the house handles. And that feels different. It takes my mind a little bit to teach my hands to use that flat as a reference, just a few swings, and then I'm used to it. And when I swing that one, I'm noticing, hey, these longer handles, I take a much lazier swing. I load them up at the top, and probably a third of the way down, I'm already just guiding the axe. I'm not driving it through. Where that little racing handle, very quickly, what I start doing is driving the force all the way to the wood. And I usually don't do that with those longer handles. I just become very conscious of it. And it's not trying to swing through it, but I'm not stopping before I hit it either. I'm actually going at it. Now, at first, that took away a little bit of my accuracy because remember, I'm using a lot of that swing on the longer handles to guide the head where I want it to hit. And with the short one, if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up putting it in my leg. So I have to remember, step a little closer. And just look at that. It begs to be swung faster. It wants to work. No wonder that's a racing axe, because you can tell I'm swinging faster than I do with the longer handles. That was something that I noticed. That you maybe subconsciously, I don't know, I became very conscious that I do this differently depending on which axe I'm swinging.
Other ones I like to take long, lazy, slow strokes. Oops.
I wanted to break this down to see if we could watch where I stop loading it, right about there. Now I'm guiding. You see how I kind of broke it? Well, maybe it's halfway through the swing. You can see I'm guiding and not forcing, not powering it in. See if I can do it again. Okay, here we go. Let's raise it up. We load it up, and you can see right about there, I'm guiding. So it's a little more than halfway. But I'm consciously aiming at that point and I'm not continuing to drive with my shoulders and my arms. I'm just following through at that point. Where let's watch how the racing axe goes. Well, we'll watch this one more time. We're going to raise it up here, load it up. Power, 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 guide. Just watching the target. And I'm pretty accurate with it. That's a 32-inch handle on that one. Let me see, what's that one, Vaughan? Yeah, I think that one's 32. It might be a 36. No, I think it's 32. And it's just an inch different, but it's a skinnier handle. It's a whippier handle. And I'm more like cracking a whip into the log. I'm whipping it. Where with the racing axe, nope, I'm driving it. Let's see.
This is just more business.
Nope, that wasn't a sound effect. That was, I thought that was pretty cool. I put it in slow motion and that's the sound that it picked. But did you see the difference? Did you see how that handle, I just instinctively am adding power all the way to contact. And there it was again. I'm powering all the way to contact. Not the last moment I'm not driving anymore. But it takes away a little bit of accuracy in the first few swings because I'm used to guiding it longer. And I also like how that Vaughan head just jerks out of the wood. That's very nice. Okay, we'll do one more. All right, let's load it up. pull it down. When am I going to stop here? All the way to contact. That it's just swinging different. The shape of the handle lets me pull it into the wood differently than those long whippy handles. And this one's, it's not that it's not springy. There's some spring to this one, I'll show you. But first, let's throw it into this log a few more times. This oak was tremendously hard. I couldn't believe how hard this stuff was. But I had a few limbs like this, and so I wasn't surprised by it because I already cut some. And this is pretty hard stuff to cut.
Well, the hardwood and this stuff is hard. I wonder how long this oak's been laying around. How about springing this? Seems pretty springy to me.
Yeah, it's not totally stiff. That's got some spring to it.
One Vaughan head. We'll get that. Got the rest of it. Wow, that Vaughan is something else. Everything I just put it through. You hear that? Wow.